This video would be better absorbed if you've already watched the previous videos that I've posted on the Mccanns. This person's name is Dr. Russell O'Brien. He let it slip in one of his police statements that Robert MURAT was there the night that Madeline went missing and was helping out. The police also discovered that this man, Dr. Russell O'Brien, had Robert MURAT's telephone number saved in his cell phone under the name of David Priest, and there is no David Priest. So I believe there's a possibility that Robert MURAT actually did a favor for the McCanns. He may have disposed or temporarily stored Madeline McCann's body. And here's why I think that that is a huge possibility. First of all, on Robert MURAT's telephone line, which was examined by the police, calls incoming and outgoing from people at the hotel Praia de Luz began as early as 4:38 in the afternoon and went on late into the evening. So this fellow, Dr. Russell O'Brien, finally admitted that he got Robert MURAT's telephone number. He said that he thought that he was helping out the police and that it would be helpful to have him as a contact. So this is Robert MURAT, who lives in Portugal. His house was about 100 yards away from the hotel. It appears from looking at the incoming and outgoing calls that he was in fact asked for his help for something. Now, there's a huge, it's very difficult to tell because there's so much guarded language in the telephone calls. But this person, you'll recall, was named as a suspect, and they began to go after him. And when you read the transcripts from the telephone calls, you'll see how angry he became because of it. And he, at some point, there's very guarded language being used, but you can tell that all he was doing was quote unquote helping. Now, his girlfriend was interviewed several times, and you can tell she's lying through her teeth. And there's probably a really good reason why she's lying. So on May 7th, there were 2 police dogs. They were not cadaver dogs, but they were dogs that can follow scent. And on May 7th, so this would be a couple of days after the so-called disappearance, both of these dogs, after the McCanns gave the police what they said was a bath towel that they had used to dry Madeline off, the dogs, both of them, one right after the other, hovered around, obviously, their own apartment 5A, then around David Payne's apartment, then around 5J, which was, nobody was in 5J, and then took a route out, directly out of the hotel, down the stairs, and into a parking lot area of Block 6. And the scent stopped at a pole in the parking lot area. Now, it's possible that somebody came and picked up the body at that point. I mean, that's just a possibility. And I wonder who it could have been. Because what's interesting is later on in the evening, MURAT is back on the scene. Well, most people didn't see him there until late. And he's hanging around watching the dogs. He's there on May 7th as well, watching the dogs. But he was hanging around the parking lot area. later on that night on, 1 a.m. on May 4th. This is that garden that they keep speaking of that is directly below where the McCanns were staying. And of course, as you know, this is where the cadaver dogs, the dogs that pick up the scent of a dead body, they indicated all over this garden here. Now, I noticed there are very few news reports that actually reflect what's in the police file, but this one did. According to a Portuguese newspaper, detectives are investigating a possible link between chief suspect Robert MURAT and two friends of the McCann family who are key witnesses in the case. The newspaper report claimed that the suspect was asked by detectives if he knew one member of the group. That was Russell O'Brien. Now, we know without a shadow of a doubt that he definitely had been speaking with Russell O'Brien because their telephone numbers to and from each other are all over the records. Now, here is a confidential report about someone who knows MURAT well. Manuel informs us that the day after Madeline's disappearance at about 4 or 5 p.m. when he was traveling on the ICI road at kilometer 718, he saw two stationary cars, an Audi A3 driven by a man and a green car, very special green color, driven by a blonde woman. Subsequently, we showed him a series of photographs that were in our possession, amongst which the one with the closest resemblance was that of a woman who turns out to be MURAT's girlfriend. The cars were stationary. The green one was inside a farm where two elderly men live and separated by a metal fence, and on the pavement of the road was the Audi. When Manuel drove past in his lorry, he saw how the woman passed a bundle wrapped in a blanket over the fence, being convinced that this was a child because of the way she was holding it and because it was wrapped in the blanket. And then it goes on, it should be noted that Manuel's manifestations seem reliable to us, in part because of the fear that he showed before and during our meeting, as well as due to the successive contacts that we have had with him and the interest that he has always shown. And then it goes on about how he gave his contact info, etc. Now, that could have been MURAT and his girlfriend doing a dirty deed for the friends of his, given that there was a lot of telephone contact in the hours on the evening of May 3rd, before May 4th, from MURAT and Russell O'Brien. It's very scary. So Russell O'Brien gave several statements that all seemed to be contradictory, and he ended up adding details. But from the beginning, he did admit that he saw MURAT for the first time the night of Madeline's disappearance. This is a portion of his statement. And this is the portion of the police file where they explain that when they found Robert MURAT's telephone number on O'Brien's cell phone, saved under David Priest, he claimed that the man was a vicar that he was speaking to, but they had all three of Robert MURAT's cellular telephone numbers, so they knew it was Robert MURAT's number. And this is just the portion of the police file where they explain that on the 7th of May, the scent dogs, not cadaver dogs, but they tracked Madeline's scent to the car park area of Block 6. So you would have to cross the street. You'd have to come out of the building, out of the apartment, out of the building, down the stairs, and cross the street and go to the car park area near Block 6. That's where that's where they lost it. So we're going to look at the cards now and see if we can figure out why this is so and what O'Brien knows. All right. So we're looking for an accurate reading. Oops. Jeez. It's a There's a motley crew. All right, guys, I'm just going to pause the tape while I shuffle. All right, sorry about that. The neighbors are really noisy. All right, on May 3rd, did MURAT receive any phone calls? Did Robert MURAT receive any phone calls? Well, look at this. There's someone here trying to figure out what to do. Did MURAT receive any phone calls? Notice how that person is. Yeah. All right. Now, looks like somebody there may have been thinking about family, or show me, did MURAT receive any phone calls? Looks like somebody was in a panic here. Who was in a panic? Somebody was in a panic because they needed to conceal something here. Who was the person in the Seven of Wands? Sorry about that. Who was in the Seven of Wands? Oh, okay. So there's a message here, and it could be about a child in some kind of concealment. What needed to be concealed? Yeah, somebody who had died. All right, so show me what the conversation was. Boy, oh boy, a family, somebody, that looks like a mother and a father there, and that looks a hell of a lot like the hotel, doesn't it? What was MURAT asked to do? What was MURAT asked to do? Now, I'm not sure who the Nine of Pentacles person is. Just a moment. By the way, this could be the garden. Notice that. Show me what the telephone call was about. Star can be a child or protection or, yeah, boy, well, this was a huge favor being asked. There's some kind of a binding contract there. It could be an offer or something. Show me what the conversation was about. Yeah. Over here is, somebody, there's a promise here and there's a witness there. Somebody needs to, yeah, that's Madeline right there. That's Madeline right there. So he may have been asked to watch out for her, to quickly show me what he was asked to do. There's 3 here. Yeah, to make her go away, to come take the child. That's what I truly believe he was asked to do with the 5 of Pentacles. Show me what MURAT did. Show me what MURAT did, please. Okay, there was somebody waiting for him and there's somebody looking. So somebody's, and I feel like that's Gerry, because that card came up for Gerry walking down the street. Yep, he didn't know Gerry, you see. Didn't know him. So he was asked to wait for him. Yeah, he was asked to help. He was asked to help out. He might have been paid. Show me what MURAT did on the night of May 3rd. On the night of he did drive somewhere. There he is. Show me what he did on the night of May 3rd. He did take control of something. Show me what he did on the night. He did something very quickly. There was a big rush. There could have been 5 people. Just a moment now. Yeah. So he did something wrong, something illegal. He made some kind of a contract with the family. There's a contract. Yeah. And the contract, I feel, show me what he had to do. Look at this. Hide something. Probably bury something. Hide something. Bury it. All right. Yeah. Protect somebody. I feel like, how did, let's just see, why did the initial dogs go to the car park? Because that's exactly where Madeline was. That's where everything ended. Yeah, that's where she was picked up. And I feel like it was done very, very quickly. Yep, there's the car. And there's the dogs losing the scent, and there's the pole. Because that's exactly where they lost the scent. The scent was lost because of the child was taken in a car, and I feel like it was MURAT. Now, okay, now I could be wrong. This is just what I'm getting. I'm just going to switch to Russell O'Brien. When he was asked about the telephone number, and he said it belonged to David Priest. He was concealed. It did not belong to David Priest. We're getting the exact same cards. When Russell, he was concealing something. He was concealing an identity. 6 of Wands is something coming out in the open. Yeah, it's exact same cards. I am going to switch decks. When Russell O'Brien, when he was asked about the telephone number that was saved under David Priest, what was he thinking and feeling? That there's a truth that they were looking for. And that could be a telephone number there. And there's travel, vast travel. He knew the truth about vast travel. When he said it, that it was David Priest, yeah. There's the lawman, by the way, but there's somebody who's walking away. Show me what Russell O'Brien knew. I'm not sure who the King of Wands is. Show me what Russell O'Brien knew. He knew about a tower, a total disaster. Yeah, and this is Taurus, and there's a disaster. Show me, yeah, there's a message. And he felt very guilty about what he said, because it was a bloody lie. Yeah, he felt guilty because he knew what the truth was. He felt guilty because he wasn't telling the truth. All right. Okay. This person who spoke to the police and said that he saw the green vehicle in an Audi, what was going on there? What was going on there? Was that a child? It was a dead child. Show me what this confidential, he felt very guilty. Show me what this, he felt very bad. Show me what this meant. He knew, felt guilty about the truth. So he knows more than he said. He knows the truth. That man knows more than what he's told the police. Yep, he knows the truth about the child. It's a risk that How does that man feel about Robert Murat? He knows there's the Page of Swords. The Page of Swords is like an investigator. Does he know about Murat? I think we're done here. This is a dead child. This is what he saw. And he knows the truth. Page of Swords. I believe. Now, I don't know what happened after that, but I think that if that isn't the exact truth, it's something pretty close to it. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think. Sorry it was such a short reading. Oh, by the way, for those of you who think that Christian Bruckner is responsible, he actually has an alibi. And you know what the alibi is? It's his cellular phone. He was over a half an hour away at all times on May the 3rd. So from Praia de Luz. He also has other witnesses. The evidence against him is so weak that a judge quashed an arrest warrant for him regarding Madeleine McCann. He has, although Bruckner is obviously a psycho, crazy, disgusting criminal, I do not think he has a thing to do with this case. Nothing. Anyway, let me know what you think, guys.